Hey coin hunters, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential treasure maps. If you've ever glanced at a penny and thought meh just 1 cent, then my friend buckle up, because today we're diving deep into a tiny little copper colored legend that could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yes, you heard me right, that little 1995 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny sitting at the bottom of your change jar could actually be your ticket to millionaire status. Let me tell you a quick story real quick. So I was at a garage sale a while back, just poking through some old boxes hoping to find an old Game Boy or something. Instead I found this beat up coffee tin full of old coins. The guy selling it said take the whole thing for $5. I did. What I found inside changed my entire outlook on pennies forever. There it was, a 1995 penny with no mint mark, looked ordinary, scratched up even, but something about it seemed different. I looked it up and folks, turns out I had stumbled across a coin that collectors go absolutely bananas over, and today I'm going to tell you why this specific penny is worth so much, how to spot one, and what to do if you think you found it too. Stick around, because by the end of this video you'll never look at your spare change the same way again. Alright, let's break this down. What's the deal with the 1995 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, and why is it worth more than a Lamborghini? Let's start with a little background. The no mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia, which usually doesn't put mint marks on pennies, so nothing weird there. Yet the value of this specific penny doesn't come from where it was minted, it comes from a very special feature. Drumroll please. The 1995 double die obverse. Yep, it's a doubling error. You heard of double vision? This is like that, but way more profitable, basically due to a mistake at the mint. Some of the pennies printed that year have a noticeable doubling in the inscriptions on the front of the coin, especially in the words Liberty and In God We Trust, and even the date shows some doubling. So you might be wondering, wait, what the heck is doubling and why do people go nuts over it? Well, it's a printing mistake, and collectors love mistakes, like really love them. It's like when you find a rare Beanie Baby with the tag upside down. Suddenly it's not just a toy, it's a treasure. The same idea applies to coins. Now here's the thing, not every 1995 penny is worth big bucks. In fact, most of them are just good old 1 cent pieces. But if yours has the double die error in nice condition, especially in mint state, we're talking MS68 or higher, that's where the big money comes in. And when I say big, I mean $1 million big. A 1995 double die no mint Mark Lincoln penny in top condition sold for $1.1 million at a private auction. Let me repeat that, $1.1 million for a penny. That's wild. Let me give you a couple of tips on how to spot the real deal. First, get yourself a magnifying glass or a jeweler's loupe and look at the words on the front of the coin. If the letters, especially Liberty and In God We Trust, look kind of shadowy or like they have a ghost double behind them, congratulations, you might be holding something very special. Now let's talk condition, because just like with baseball cards or vintage video games, condition is everything. A coin in perfect mint state is way more valuable than one that's been hanging out in the junk drawer for 20 years with gum stuck to it. So if you think you've got the real deal, don't go spending it on a pack of gum. Get that coin graded by a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC. They'll tell you exactly what you've got and how much it's worth. Oh, and pro tip, don't clean the coin. I know it's tempting to shine it up real nice, but that actually ruins its value. Leave the dirt on there, let it wear its age like a badge of honor. Let me bring you back to that garage sale story I told you earlier. So I took that coin to a local coin shop, and the guy behind the counter squints at it, looks up at me and says, "Where did you find this?" I thought I was in trouble. I was like, in a coffee can, sir." He smiles and goes, "You might want to get this graded." I was on cloud nine. I walked out of there feeling like Indiana Jones with a treasure map. So how rare is it exactly? Well, it's not super rare in general, but finding one in pristine condition is like finding a needle in a haystack. That's where the value jumps through the roof. And yes, the market has its ups and downs, but high-grade examples have been fetching tens of thousands consistently, and that legendary 7-figure sale is proof that if you've got the right coin at the right time with the right buyer, boom, instant wealth. So there you have it, folks, the 1995 no mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny, the humble little coin that could be your golden ticket to the millionaire club. Who knew Honest Abe had it in him? Right now, before you rush to flip over your couch cushions and raid your piggy banks, remember this, it's not just about luck, it's about knowing what to look for. And now that you do, you've got an edge. You're officially part of the coin collecting elite, or at least a very cool nerd squad that understands coin values. If you liked this video and want more tips, tricks, and coin hunting strategies that can actually put money in your pocket, then don't forget to hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and drop a comment below. If you think you might have a valuable coin hiding in plain sight, trust me, I've got way more where this came from. We're talking nickels worth thousands, quarters that can buy a car, and of course more pennies that could change your life 1 cent at a time. Alright, I'm out of here, time to go dig through my couch cushions again. This has been your friendly neighborhood coin nerd signing off. Hey there, coin lovers. Let me ask you this: what's the most you've ever found in your couch cushions? A few coins, a lost key, maybe a receipt for a pizza from 2017? Well, imagine if you pulled out a coin worth $1.2 million. Yeah, I know, sounds like a total fantasy, right? I'm talking about the 1964 D-Mint Mark Lincoln penny. That's right, a penny that could make you a lot of dough if you've got the right one. And today, I'm going to dive deep into why this coin is so valuable, what makes it different from your everyday pocket change, and, of course, how you might just have one of these bad boys hiding in your collection. So grab a snack, sit back, and let's talk about how your change jar could be hiding a true treasure. You're probably wondering, why on earth is a penny from 1964 worth $1.2 million? I mean, 1964 is a pretty long time ago, but it's not like it's an ancient coin, right? It's not like you're holding onto a Roman denarius or an old-school pirate doubloon. Not all pennies are created equal. Some pennies, like the 1964D, are just a little more special. First off, this penny was produced in 1964, the final year the U.S. Mint struck the pure copper Lincoln pennies. That makes it a classic. You see, after 1964, they switched to a copper-coated zinc planchet, which is a whole different ballgame. So, in a way, owning a 1964D is like holding onto a piece of history. And now, not every 1964D penny is worth $1.2 million. Oh no. But if your 1964D penny has a certain set of characteristics, it could be extremely valuable. We're talking about things like being in mint condition, maybe even with some rare errors that make it stand out from the rest. Think of it like the difference between a regular cup of coffee and that fancy $5 cup of coffee with a little latte art on top. Same base, but one is clearly worth more. But here's where it gets fun. A typical 1964D penny, while still worth a lot more than its face value, let's say a few cents, won't fetch millions unless it has a unique error or defect. The true high-value ones are the ones with minting mistakes, things like double die errors, which make them look slightly different from the regular ones. And let's be honest, who doesn't like a good mistake? If you've ever been to a high school math test, you know a mistake can sometimes work in your favor. When we're talking about a 1964D penny with a hefty price tag, we're looking at a well-preserved coin with unique features. The best examples have been kept in excellent condition, often graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC, which is where the big bucks come in. But even a penny with a slightly off-center mint mark, a little doubling in the design, or a few other distinctive imperfections can be worth a lot more than you might think. Well, the first step is to take a look at its condition. The higher the grade, the higher the value. If you've got one that's still shiny and crisp, almost like it just came out of the mint, then congratulations, you might just be sitting on a gold mine. Or, should I say, a copper mine. Now, let me share a little personal story. A few years ago, I was cleaning out my grandma's attic and came across a ton of old coins. I thought, these are just junk. But I decided to take a closer look, because, sometimes even junk can turn out to be treasure. Right there, tucked away in a dusty old tin box, was a single 1964D penny. I almost tossed it aside without thinking. I mean, it looked pretty beat up. But then, I remembered reading about these valuable coins and thought, what the heck, I'll check it out. Turns out, my old penny wasn't worth millions, but it did have a nice little bump in value thanks to its near-perfect condition. A couple $100? I'll take it. It's crazy how a little research can turn your old clutter into cash. Moral of the story, don't just toss your coins away because they look old or worn out. You never know what could be hiding in there, so let's wrap this up. The 1964D Lincoln penny may not seem like the kind of coin you'd look at twice, but with a little attention and knowledge, it could be worth much more than you ever imagined. It's all about understanding what makes it special, whether it's its copper content, its minting errors, or just its perfect preservation over the years. And listen, if you're into coins and want to learn more about how to spot these hidden treasures, be sure to hit that subscribe button. I'm bringing you all the tips and tricks on valuable coins that could be sitting right under your nose. Trust me, you'll want to know what to look for, because it's way more fun to find treasure than just random change. And, hey, if you do find that 1964D penny worth millions, I won't be mad if you send me a thank you card. Hey everyone, I'm so glad you're here. Imagine this, you're just chilling, going through some old pennies you found in your couch cushions or maybe at a garage sale. Most of them are worth a couple of cents, right? But then, you come across one that might just change your life. And I'm not talking about a shiny new penny, no. I'm talking about a rare 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny. Sounds too good to be true? Well, buckle up, because this penny is currently worth a whopping $1.3 million. Yep, you heard me right, $1.3 million. Now, let's talk about how you could turn a simple coin into a small fortune. Stick with me, and I'll break it all down for you, with some insider tips and a few laughs along the way. So, if you're ready to learn how to spot a treasure in your pocket change, grab your magnifying glass and let's dive in. Alright, let's get into the nitty-gritty of the 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny. You might be thinking, wait, isn't a penny just a penny? Well, that's what I thought too, until I found out that these little guys can actually be worth more than some people's cars, homes, even some private islands. It's crazy how something so small and seemingly insignificant can turn into a goldmine. In 1998, the US Mint produced millions of pennies. Most of them were minted at the Philadelphia Mint, but here's the kicker: some of these pennies were not stamped with a mint mark. Now, typically, the mint mark tells you where the penny was made. But for some reason, in 1998, there were a few pennies that slipped through the cracks. These were supposed to be marked with a P for Philadelphia, but, whoops, no mint mark. And that's what makes them so valuable today. Well, you're in luck. The no mint mark penny looks almost identical to a normal 1998 penny, but it has no P on it. You'll need a really sharp eye and maybe a magnifying glass to spot the difference, but trust me, it's worth it. Imagine it, folks. You're digging through your old coin jar. Maybe you have one of those jars filled with pennies from your childhood or that random pile from your latest trip to the flea market, and you see one of these little beauties. No mint mark? Hold on to it. That penny might just be worth over $1 million, just sitting in your pocket like a forgotten treasure. Now, let's talk about the value. We're talking about a market value of around $1.3 million for a 1998 no mint mark penny. But here's the thing, not every 1998 penny is going to be worth that much, and that's where the rarity factor comes into play. Only a few of these pennies were minted without the mark, so they're extremely rare. And the rarer the coin, the higher the price. Coin collectors, dealers, and investors will pay top dollar for these bad boys, so keep your eyes peeled. I'll tell you a story to put this all into perspective. A few years ago, I found an old jar of coins at a yard sale for like $5. Nothing special, I thought, just a bunch of random coins. But one day, on a whim, I decided to take a closer look. After a few hours of sorting through pennies, I found a 1998 no mint mark Lincoln penny. I thought, hey, maybe this one's worth a couple of bucks. Fast forward to me running to the coin shop and bam, it was like the jackpot had just dropped into my lap. Turned out, it was worth more than I could ever imagine. Now, I don't want to hype you up too much, but that was the moment I realized how crazy this coin game is. So, here's the deal, folks: if you ever find a 1998 penny that doesn't have a mint mark, don't just toss it into your change jar or, worse, spend it. Take a second to check it out. It could be your ticket to a small fortune. But remember, finding these pennies isn't as easy as just picking one up off the ground. You've got to stay sharp, check your change, and maybe even go on a little treasure hunt of your own. Who knows, you might just strike gold, or in this case, copper. If you found this video helpful, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I've got loads more coin tips and tricks coming your way. So, if you want to learn about other rare coins worth a ton of money, like how to spot that $1 million penny or the top 5 rare coins hiding in your change jar, stay tuned. You definitely don't want to miss what's next. Hey coin lovers and casual change checkers, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential fortune and have a few laughs along the way. Now I know what you're thinking: what in the world could possibly make a 2060 Lincoln penny worth $14 million? Yep, you heard me right, 1.4 million American dollars for a penny that you might have used to buy gum back in the day. Stick around, because today we're diving deep into the story behind this $1 million Lincoln penny. We'll talk value, history, what makes it so special, and I'll even share a little embarrassing story about how I once almost spent a valuable coin without knowing it. Spoiler alert, it involved a vending machine and a lot of regret. So grab your coin jar, your coffee, or whatever weird snack you're munching on, and let's get into it. Alright, let's talk about the 2006 mint mark Lincoln penny. First things first, that little D below the date means it was minted in Denver, which usually isn't that rare. Denver mints millions of these things every year, but here's where it gets juicy. Not all 2060 pennies are created equal. There's one specific penny that sold for an insane $14 million because of a super rare minting error combined with pristine condition and, oh yeah, a little dash of collector craze. Now normally a 2060 penny is worth just 1 cent unless it's got something special going on, and boy did this one have it. We're talking about a coin that was struck on the wrong planchet. Meaning it wasn't even supposed to be a penny, it ended up on a blank meant for a different coin entirely. Imagine that it's like showing up to a wedding in a Halloween costume by accident and everyone loves you for it. That's this penny, it's a total misfit but in the best way possible. Now let's add to the drama. This particular penny was graded MS70 by a professional grading service. That's a perfect score. Mint state 70 means it's flawless, not a scratch, not a smudge. It probably looks better than your reflection in a freshly clean mirror. Collectors go nuts for perfection, especially when combined with rarity and errors, so you've got all the elements right there. A rare minting mistake, a perfect condition, and just enough mystery to make it legendary. Let's talk about market value right now. As of today, the last known sale of this beauty clocked in at a jaw-dropping $14 million. That's a whole mansion, a few luxury cars, a lifetime supply of tacos. I mean, the possibilities are endless. Now here's where I gotta share something personal. A few years ago I found a shiny penny in my couch cushions. Didn't think much of it at first, but the day caught my eye. 2060. I got excited real fast because I just read an article about rare modern pennies. So what did I do? I did what any self-respecting coin nerd would do. I squinted at it under my phone flashlight, googled everything I could, and even posted a blurry pic on a coin forum. Spoiler alert, mine was just a regular penny, but for a hot minute I thought I was a millionaire, and the kicker, I had almost used it earlier that day to pay for a pack of gum at a gas station. So let that be a lesson, friends. Always check your change. You never know when you're one coin away from a life-changing surprise. By the way, if you ever want to know if your penny is the jackpot, keep an eye out for errors, wrong metal, off-center strikes, or anything that looks out of the ordinary. And if you do find something interesting, get it graded by a legit grading company. It could be worth a fortune, or at the very least make a great story. So there you have it, folks, the 2060 Lincoln penny, one of the most unexpected million-dollar coins in recent history. Who knew Honest Abe would be out here casually turning people into millionaires? Remember, this coin's value came from a combination of rarity, a perfect grade, and a crazy minting mistake. So while not every 2060 penny is worth a fortune, it's always worth checking, because hey, weird things happen at the mint, and those weird things can make you rich. If you learned something today, had a laugh, or now feel an uncontrollable urge to dig through your coin jar, then do me a solid, hit that subscribe button, smash that like button like you're flattening a soda can, and ring that notification bell so you never miss out on a coin that could change your life. And hey, drop a comment below. Have you ever found a weird coin, or do you have a story about a coin you wish you hadn't spent? Let's swap tales. Hey folks, welcome back to the channel where your loose change might just be your lucky lottery ticket. Alright, so picture this: you're digging through the couch cushions looking for the TV remote, and instead you pull out an old copper penny from 1966. You glance at it, shrug, toss it in your pocket, and forget about it. But hold up, that little coin you almost used to prop up a wobbly table leg might just be worth a whopping $1.5 million. Yeah, you heard me right, not one, not five, but $1.5 million for a single penny. You don't need a treasure map, you just need to check your change. So stick around, because we're diving deep into the mystery, the history, and the massive value of the 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny. And hey, don't worry, I'm not about to hit you with a history lecture, just some fun facts, a few laughs, and maybe a personal story or two that'll make you check your coin jar tonight. First off, let's talk about what this coin even is. The 1966 Lincoln penny is part of the Lincoln Memorial Cent series. You know, the one with Honest Abe just chillin' on the front looking like he's pondering why people keep tossing him into vending machines. Now, the first thing that might catch your eye about the 1966 penny is that there's no mint mark on it. No D, no S, nothing. But don't panic, that's not a mistake or a defect. Back in the mid-60s, the US Mint was dealing with a coin shortage and decided, hey, let's make life confusing and remove the mint marks for a few years so people wouldn't hoard coins based on mint location. So no mint mark doesn't automatically mean it's rare, but some of these 1966 pennies are worth a small fortune, and here's why. Most of the 1966 pennies were made with a copper composition and millions were struck. So what makes some of them stand out? Well, it's all about the condition, the variety, and whether they have any weird little quirks. And we're not talking about your Uncle Steve who still wears socks with sandals kind of quirks. I mean legit mint errors. There are 1966 pennies out there with off-center strikes, double dies, and even a few rumored transitional errors that were struck on the wrong metal planchets. Those are the jackpot coins, the ones collectors dream about. Combine a rare error with a perfect or near perfect grade like MS67 or higher, and boom, that's how you land a $1 million penny. Alright, now let me tell you a quick story. A couple years ago, I was helping my dad clean out his old garage. You know, that kind of garage where every drawer has a screwdriver, a rusty nail, and exactly 3 mystery pennies covered in sawdust. Well, I found this little cup of coins, and being the coin nerd I start sorting through them for fun. Suddenly I spot a 1966 penny, and I kid you not, my heart skipped a beat. I ran inside, grabbed my magnifier, and started looking for doubling errors, mint mistakes, anything. Spoiler alert, it wasn't the $1 million one, but man, for those few minutes I was already mentally yacht shopping. One verified 1966 Lincoln penny with exceptional color, pristine condition, and a slight misstrike recently went for over $1.5 million in a private auction. That's life-changing money. That's pay off your house, buy a new house, fill that new house with snacks kind of money. Now if you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna go through all my coins tonight, good, that's the idea. But before you get too excited, remember the $1 million versions are super rare. Still, there are hundreds of 1966 pennies worth hundreds or even thousands depending on condition and errors. So even if you don't hit the million mark, you might still get yourself a nice payday, or at least enough for a few pizzas, and let's be honest, that's still a win. Let's break it down real quick for value spotting. First, look for any weirdness, doubling on the letters, extra thickness, off-center designs. Second, check the color. Bright red uncirculated coins are worth way more than dull brown ones. Third, consider grading it if it looks pristine. Getting it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC can make a huge difference in resale value. People want proof before they drop six figures on a penny, and if you're really into it, start checking rolls from the bank or ask grandma if she has any old jars full of coins. Grandmas always have treasure and banana bread. It's a proven fact, alright. So to wrap this up, the 1966 no mint mark Lincoln penny might look like just another coin, but under the right circumstances it could be worth up to $1.5 million. It's proof that sometimes the biggest treasures are hiding in plain sight, maybe even in your pocket right now. So here's your homework: grab a flashlight, a magnifying glass, and go on a coin hunt. You never know what you'll find, and if you do, strike it rich. Hey, remember who sent you down the rabbit hole. If you enjoyed this video and you want more tips, tricks, and stories about coins worth money and how to spot them, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and tap the notification bell so you don't miss the next big find. I've got more awesome coin secrets coming your way, and trust me, you don't want to miss them. Thanks for hanging out with me, and remember, next time you hear someone say a penny for your thoughts, make sure it's a 1966 Lincoln penny, because your thoughts might be worth $1.5 million. Hey folks, ever dream of finding a treasure in your pocket? No, I'm not talking about that crumpled dollar bill you found in your laundry. I'm talking about a small copper coin that could literally change your life. Imagine this: you're rummaging through your change jar, the one that's been collecting dust on top of the fridge since 2003, and boom, there it is, a plain OL looking penny with a little D underneath, the year 1979, and guess what? That tiny piece of metal could be worth a jaw-dropping $16 million. Yeah, you heard that right, $1.6 million for a penny. That's like buying a lottery ticket and actually winning. So today we're diving headfirst into the wild story of the 1979 D-mint mark Abraham Lincoln penny, why it's so insanely valuable, what makes it special, how you can spot one, and yep, you bet, I've got a funny personal story about one that slipped through my fingers years ago that still haunts. So grab your coin jars, get comfy, maybe even pour yourself a drink, cause this ain't your average coin talk. This is penny treasure hunting with style. Alright, let's kick it off with the basics. What's up with this 1979 D Lincoln penny, and why is everyone freaking out about it? So this penny was minted in Denver, hence the D mark right underneath the year. The D might look tiny, but oh boy, does it make a big difference. Now most 1979 D pennies are pretty normal. They're copper plated zinc, nothing too wild, but here's the thing: a very small batch had some serious minting mistakes and were struck on the wrong planchets, or had doubled dies or other funky errors that made them super rare and highly collectible. Collectors go nuts over these error coins, and when I say nuts, I mean full-on bananas, throwing money around like confetti at a New Year's party. So what kind of errors are we talking about? Glad you asked, my fellow coin detective. Some 1979 D pennies were struck on leftover planchets from foreign coins like the ones used in South America or the Philippines. Others had dramatic doubling on the date and the mint mark, making them look like they've had one too many espressos. These rare variations are insanely hard to find, but if you do, buddy, you're looking at a payday of up to $16 million. That's not pocket change, that's private island money. Now let's talk about condition and grading, because it matters more than whether or not you bring snacks to a road trip to be worth millions. Your 1979 D penny needs to be in tip-top shape. I'm talking mint state condition, no scratches, no finger smudges, no chewing gum stuck on it. It needs to shine brighter than my Uncle Larry's bald head on a summer afternoon. Coin grading agencies like PCGS and NGC rate coins on a scale from 1 to 70. If your coin hits the 67 to 70 range, you're looking at big bucks. Below that, value drops faster than a dropped ice cream cone on a hot day. First, check the mint mark D under the year. Make sure it's clear, sharp, and not too mushy. D's are a no-go. Second, look for any doubling on the date or letters. If Abe Lincoln's profile looks like he's got a shadow clone, that's a very good thing. Third, weigh it. A regular penny weighs about 25 grams. If it's off even slightly, it could mean it was struck on a different planchet, and that's where the value skyrockets. A few years back, I was helping my grandma roll pennies. You know, one of those rainy day tasks that turns into a full-on bonding experience. She's over there humming old Elvis tunes. I'm over here halfway asleep rolling coins. Like a robot. When bam I spot a 1979 D, I pick it up, hold it to the light, and it looks different. Something about it feels off, the color, the shine, the weight. My inner voice was screaming, check it you idiot, but what did I do? I shrugged, put it in the roll, and kept going. Grandma was talking about potato salad and I lost focus. A few weeks later I saw a YouTube video just like this one talking about the 1979 D penny and its insane value. I almost fainted. I ran back to her house, dug through every coin roll like a man possessed, but it was gone. Some lucky soul probably spent it on a vending machine burrito and now it's floating around somewhere in the universe just waiting to be discovered. Moral of the story: don't ignore your pennies, folks. They may be small but they can be mighty rich. Let's not forget where these coins came from too. The late 70s were a funky time. We had disco bell bottoms and an economy that was, well, let's just say, unpredictable, so pennies were still being made with real copper in early 1982, but by 79 they were transitioning and experimenting with different compositions. That's why some of these coins ended up with these rare mistakes. Now you might be wondering, where can I sell it if I find one? You've got a few options. One of the best is to send it off to a grading service first, like PCGS or NGC. Then if it comes back with a high grade, you can list it at major auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stacksbowers, or you can find private collectors who will pay good money, especially if the coin has that error or mint condition shine. But whatever you do, don't try to clean it. I repeat, do not grab a toothbrush and toothpaste thinking you're doing it a favor. You'll ruin it faster than microwaving a burrito still in its wrapper. Instead, handle it by the edges, keep it in a coin flip or capsule, and store it somewhere safe, not in your sock drawer next to your old Game Boy games. Alright, my coin-loving friends, we've taken a wild ride today, from dusty old change jars to $1,000,000 pennies in one very regretful coin roll story. The 1979 D Mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny is proof that you don't need a metal detector or a pirate map to find treasure. Sometimes all you need is a little curiosity, a good eye, and a pinch of luck. So next time you're digging for quarters to pay for parking, take a second to peek at those pennies. They might just be worth more than your car. And if you liked hanging out, learning about hidden coin gold mines, and laughing at my coin-related heartbreaks, do me a huge favor, hit that subscribe button like it owes you money. Tap the bell so you never miss another episode of Coin Treasure Hunting, and drop a comment below. Have you ever found a rare coin, or maybe one got away? Tell me your story. I'll be crying into my coin jar reading them. Thanks for watching, and remember, keep your eyes on your change, cause the next $1,000,000 penny might already be in your pocket. Alright folks, let me ask you a quick question. What if I told you that a single penny could change your life forever? Nope, not metaphorically. I'm talking about a literal penny. A 1-cent coin. The kind you ignore on the sidewalk or toss in your car's cup holder without a second thought. Yeah, that one. Now picture this. You're digging through your junk drawer looking for batteries or tape or a pen that actually works, and boom, you stumble on a 1994 penny. No mint mark. Just chillin'. Looks like any old coin, right? But guess what? That little guy could be worth a staggering $1.7 million. That's right. $1.7 million. For a single, regular-looking penny. Welcome back to the channel where we make sense out of coins, literally. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious and money-making world of the 1994 no-mint Mark Abraham Lincoln penny. So grab your coffee, kick back, and get ready for a wild ride through history, errors, shiny copper, and my own weird story about accidentally trying to spend a rare coin on vending machine snacks. True story. We'll get there. Alright, let's break it down. The 1994 Lincoln penny, also known as the coin nobody really cared about, until recently. At first glance, it's your standard issue penny. It's got Abe Lincoln on the front looking all serious like he's about to give another Gettysburg address, and the Lincoln Memorial on the back. No biggie, right? But here's the kicker. Some of these pennies from 1994 came out without a mint mark. And that might not seem like a big deal, but in the coin collecting world, that's like discovering a unicorn wearing sunglasses riding a skateboard. And now, most pennies are made at either the Philadelphia Mint or the Denver Mint. Coins from Denver get a little D, and Philly's coins either get a P or nothing at all. So yes, technically, no mint mark usually means it came from Philly. But, and this is a big but, the real money is in the rare errors and the near-perfect conditions. See, in 1994, something funky happened. A few of these no-mint mark Lincoln pennies were struck in such flawless condition, with rare die errors or composition anomalies, that collectors went absolutely bananas. One of these coins was found to be so pristine and unusual, it went to auction and sold for, wait for it, $1.7 million. Let me say that again in case your brain just skipped a beat. 1 penny sold For 1.7 million bucks. That's enough to buy a house, a Lambo, pay off your student loans, and still have enough left to finally splurge on extra guac at Chipotle without flinching. Now you might be wondering, how the heck do I know if I've got one of these magical coins? We're talking mint state condition here. Like, never been touched, fresh out of the vault, could be on a coin commercial kind of condition. Some coins have weird little mistakes from the minting process. Off-center strikes, double dies, missing layers, or even zinc streaks can send the value through the roof. Most 1994 pennies were made from zinc coated in copper. But if you've got a full copper one, now that's rare. You can test it by weighing it. Copper pennies weigh about 3.1 grams, zinc ones weigh about 2.5 grams. Don't be tossing out the heavy ones, alright? So a few years back, I was broke. Like, checking the couch cushions for quarters broke. I had this little stash of pennies I kept in a coffee can, just in case. I remember grabbing a few to grab a Snickers from the vending machine at work. Well, a few weeks later, I got into coin collecting and started watching videos, maybe just like you're doing now, and I realized I'd spent a 1994 no-mint mark penny that was in amazing shape. I swear, it had that perfect copper shine, not a single scratch, and it weighed more than it should have. To this day, I picture that vending machine guy, probably a millionaire now, rolling in my penny riches. Let that be a lesson. Always check your change before you chow down on overpriced vending snacks. Let's talk about why these pennies are so valuable. It's all about rarity and demand. When a collector sees a rare coin in excellent condition with a known error or oddity, they'll do anything to get it. We're talking bidding wars, private sales, coin shows with velvet gloves. It's dramatic, trust me. So now you're probably raiding your piggy banks and flipping your couch cushions. Good. That's what you should be doing. Look, the moral of the story is simple: don't underestimate the power of pocket change. That boring old penny in your drawer could literally pay for your dream vacation, your house, your car, or your entire retirement. So take a moment. Dig through your change jar. Check those 1994 pennies. Look for the no mint mark. Weigh them. Study them. You could be holding a fortune and not even know it. Before you go, make sure to hit that subscribe button if you want more money-making coin tips. I've got plenty more videos coming your way. Lincoln cents, Buffalo nickels, quarters worth more than your rent. We're uncovering all the hidden treasure one coin at a time. Smash that like button if you had fun today, share this with a fellow coin nerd or treasure hunter, and drop a comment if you've got a cool coin story. I love reading them. Hey, coin hunters and everyday treasure seekers, welcome back to the channel where we turn pocket change into potential paydays. Now let me ask you this: when was the last time you really looked at your pennies? I mean, really took the time to check those little copper coins hiding in your couch cushions or in your car's cup holder? Because what if I told you that one of those ordinary looking 2003 Lincoln pennies with no mint mark could actually be worth more than a Lamborghini? Yeah, you heard me. Right, $1.8 million. That's not a typo, that's not a scam, that's not even a clickbait title, that's cold hard collectible cash. So buckle up, friends, because today we're diving deep into the mystery, the rarity, and the $1 million magic of the 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny. And trust me, you're gonna want to stick around, because by the end of this video you might just be sprinting to your coin jar. Alright, so first things first, let's break down what this coin is all about. The 2003 Lincoln penny is part of the classic Lincoln Memorial series that ran from 1959 to 2008, and in 2003 the US Mint pumped out millions of these bad boys from different locations including Denver and Philadelphia. Now here's the twist: the ones from Philadelphia don't carry a mint mark, so when we say no mint mark we're talking about those coins. But here's where things get spicy. One specific 2003 no mint mark Lincoln penny somehow made it out of the mint with an unusual composition and striking error. And it's this bizarre combination that's making collectors lose their minds and wallets over it. So why is this particular penny worth more than your house, your car, your cousin's college debt? Because of its insane rarity and a perfect storm of mint error weirdness. We're talking about a coin struck on the wrong metal planchet combined with a dramatic double die error in near perfect condition. I was at a garage sale one Saturday, one of those where the smell of old books and slightly burnt popcorn is in the air. I'm rummaging through a bowl of random coins and paper clips, just doing my coin nerd thing. I spot the super shiny penny. It looked newer than the rest. I flip it over and sure enough it's a 2003 Lincoln penny, no mint mark. I snagged the whole bowl for $2. I am thinking maybe I'll find a wheat penny or something. Nope. Instead I get home, I look closer with my magnifier and my heart almost stops. The coin had doubling on Lincoln's face and a weird color to it. I send it In to be graded, and guess what? Okay, mine wasn't the $1 million version, but it got graded and was worth a few $100. Not bad for something that cost me less than a pack of gum. Now imagine the person who did find the one worth $1.8 million. It was discovered in a private collection by a guy who thought it was just a shiny lucky penny. Turns out his luck was next level. The reason this one is so valuable is that it was struck on a bronze planchet instead of the normal copper-plated zinc. That's like putting an engine from a Ferrari into a lawnmower. And the minting error itself was crystal clear, visible, doubling on Lincoln's eye jawline and the date with super crisp details, and it was graded MS68, which is like the Olympic gold medal of coin grading. Now let's pause for a second and talk grading, because if you're out here hoping to find your own $1 million penny, you gotta know what to look for when it comes to condition. Coin collectors are like picky dating app users. They swipe left on anything scratched, scuffed, or dull. They want shiny, symmetrical, sharp edges and zero drama. If you think your coin might be something special, get it graded by a professional like PCGS or NGC, and know your cousin who has a magnifying glass. Doesn't count. Oh, and pro tip, always hold coins by the edge. If you touch the face, you're basically rubbing the value off with your greasy snack fingers. This 2003 no mint Mark Lincoln penny hit the coin auction scene like a surprise guest at a wedding, and collectors went bonkers. It sold for a jaw-dropping $1.8 million, and since then collectors have been on the hunt like it's Indiana Jones and the Temple of Coin Doom. Here's the deal though, most 2003 pennies are only worth their face value unless they've got the special sauce era rarity grade. All three are needed to hit that $1 million jackpot. Start by checking your change. Look at every 2003 penny you find. If there's no mint mark, that's step one. Then look for doubling on Lincoln's face, especially the eye and mouth. Check the edges, see if the coin feels heavier or looks like a weird shade of bronze compared to regular pennies. If you're seeing anything suspicious, don't freak out yet. Take clear photos and send them in to a coin expert or grading service. Worst case, you wasted 5 minutes. Best case, you just found your retirement plan. And let me tell you, something magical happens the first time you find a coin that's worth more than a few bucks. It's like striking oil in your pocket. Change, it's addictive, it's exciting, it's the kind of thing you'll start doing in line at the grocery store. I once embarrassed myself in public because I saw someone drop a penny. I dove for it like it was the last slice of pizza at a party. It wasn't worth anything, but hey, you miss 100% of the coins you don't check right now. Some of y'all might be thinking, come on, who has time to check pennies? Well, if you've ever binge-watched a show about baking cakes shaped like shoes, you've got time to check a couple coins. Never underestimate the power of the penny. The 2003 no mint Mark Lincoln penny hiding under your couch cushion could be worth $1.8 million. That's more than most of us make in a decade. All it takes is a little curiosity, a little patience, and maybe a magnifying glass the size of your enthusiasm. Now, if you enjoyed this dive into the wonderful weird world of rare coins, do me a huge favor and smash that subscribe button like it's a vending machine that stole your last dollar. Hit the bell so you don't miss out on future videos about coins that could change your life, your wallet, and maybe your wardrobe, because let's be honest, you're gonna need fancier pants if you find one of these $1 million beauties. And leave a comment if you've ever found a coin that made your jaw drop. I wanna hear your stories, your finds, your wild what if moments. Okay, before you run to the nearest vending machine with that pile of change in your car's cup holder, stop right there. What if I told you that one of those rusty looking pennies could be worth up to $1.8 million? Yeah, you heard that right. I said million, with an M. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious and ridiculously valuable 2009 Lincoln Memorial Penny, specifically the Presidency design minted in Denver. Oh, and we're also shining a spotlight on a no mint Mark Lincoln penny from that same year that's somehow pulling in a cool $1.8 million in the collector world. And now, before you start imagining quitting your job and buying a llama farm in the Rockies, we gotta talk about what makes these pennies so special, what to look for, how to find them, and most importantly, how to know if you're sitting on a fortune. So grab a drink, kick back, and let's nerd out about some small copper coins that are making big bank. Alright, let's go back to 2009. That year, the US Mint released 4 special designs to celebrate Abraham Lincoln's 200th birthday and the 100th anniversary of the Lincoln cent. The 4 coins tell the story of Honest Abe's life, from his log cabin roots to his presidential days. That's the one we care about today. The Presidency penny. It shows the unfinished dome of the U.S. Capitol, symbolizing a nation under construction and a presidency under pressure. Poetic, right? Most of these coins are just worth a penny. Maybe a few cents if they're shiny. But there are some outliers, big outliers. Let's talk about the Denver Mint version, 2009D. This guy is no ordinary penny. Some versions of this coin have incredible errors or rare features that collectors drool over. A coin that looks like it was minted yesterday, without a scratch or fingerprint on it? That can fetch hundreds, sometimes thousands. And if you're really lucky and find a near-perfect specimen with a rare error, you're looking at hundreds of thousands, maybe even close to that $1.8 million mark. Yes, that's what happened to one collector. This dude picked up a roll of pennies from his local bank, just doing normal coin roll hunting, and boom, found a nearly flawless 2009 presidency penny with a super rare die error. Auction houses went nuts. The coin eventually fetched $1.8 million at a private sale, the mysterious no-mint Mark Lincoln penny worth $1.80 million. Now let's chat about the no-mint Mark Lincoln penny from 2009. This one is kind of the unicorn in the coin world. Usually, no-mint Mark just means it was made in Philly. Not rare, right? But this one's different. There's a certain batch of 2009 Lincoln pennies, no-mint Mark, that were struck with such perfect precision, plus a bizarre error in the design detail, that collectors have gone full Sherlock Holmes trying to find them. We're talking about coins with flawless surfaces, microscopic doubling, or other freaky minting quirks. One such coin, graded by a top-tier agency, sealed like a time capsule, was discovered in a coin jar just like the one on your dresser. It was authenticated and eventually sold for $1.8 million in a private deal. Let that sink in. Someone turned a penny into a mansion. Or 5 Teslas. Or a lifetime supply of tacos. My almost $1 million mistake. Okay, story time. A couple of years ago, I was cleaning out my car and found this super shiny penny jammed between the seat and the console. I mean, this thing glowed. My first thought? Cool, free money. I threw it in my pocket and used it at a gas station. A week later, I started diving into coin collecting and saw a picture of a 2009 presidency penny worth serious cash. My stomach dropped. I swear, it looked exactly like the one I spent on a bag of M&Ms. Now, was it the $1 million penny? Probably not. But what if it was? That 89-cent candy could have cost me a private island. What you should be looking for. Let's get practical. You want to know how to tell if your 2009 penny is the one. Here's your checklist. If it shows the US Capitol building, congrats, it's the presidency design. The shinier and more perfect it looks, the better. Use a magnifier and check for doubling, odd shapes, misalignments, cracks. Grading. If it looks amazing, send it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. They're the gatekeepers to big value, and remember, even if you don't find the coin, there's a whole bunch of 2009 pennies worth $50, $100, even $500 if they're in top shape. That's still a way better return than, well, most investments. Ask banks for rolls of pennies. Yes, people still do that. Hit up garage sales, estate sales, and antique shops. Trade or buy from local coin shops or shows.so. Next time someone says it's just a penny, you hit them with the facts. That little copper coin could be your ticket to millionaire status. The 2009 Lincoln presidency penny and the no-mint Mark 2009 Lincoln penny aren't just collector's items, they're potential life changers. I mean, who knew something you could find under your couch cushions might be worth more than a Lamborghini? Now, before you dash off to ransack your piggy bank, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm dropping more coin tips, treasure hunting tricks, and insider knowledge on how to turn pocket change into serious cash. Tap the bell so you don't miss out, because who knows? The next coin I talk about might be sitting in your wallet right now, and hey, if you do find something amazing, drop a comment. I'd love to hear your story, and who knows? Maybe I'll feature it in the next video.